Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, we are the G&G family. But if you're coming from our last video, we are so happy to have you back.
We've seen that we're getting new people every day, so thank you so much. We appreciate your support, I guess.
We're going to be telling you the story of my labor and delivery,
Yes.
and just Ezra's being born and how everything went down. It's been 9 months, so it's not as fresh in our minds as it could be, but it was a beautiful experience for us. So I really wanted this to be a video that we can look back on.
Yeah.
And for Ezra to look back on. I am by no means making this video to make it seem like my experience is the example for every other pregnant woman's labor and delivery experience.
No.
But I do want to share all the details, the not so pretty parts, and what you can expect from delivering your baby in a hospital with medication, with epidural, with the doctor, nurses, everything. Oh, by the way, I was induced, so that's the type of labor and delivery this is going to be. Let's get into the video. Starting a few days beforehand, I know it's a little controversial, but Ezra was getting very, very big. My pregnancy, I was diagnosed with fetal macrosomia, which basically just means that I was going to be delivering a baby much larger than average. So typically babies will be around 8 pounds or less, and Ezra was born 9 pounds 5 ounces. He was just really big, and I didn't have gestational diabetes, so they already knew around 27 weeks that I was going to be induced. I was in a lot of pain and really uncomfortable. A week beforehand,
She took castor oil. It's a so thick oil, and so nasty.
I took it before they told me I was gonna get induced.
Yes, Natty was getting huge, massively huge.
I got the green light from the doctor. But the reason some people say not to do castor oil, there have been studies that have been debunked, but that say that it's possible that your baby passes meconium in the amniotic fluid. Meconium is like early stages of poop. I did the castor oil the first time and it didn't work. One thing that it did do is it sent me to the bathroom probably like
The whole night.
1 hour after I took it. 1 week later, I wanted to do it again. By this time, I knew I was going to get induced, so I was hoping I could have him come before the induction, so I didn't have to put us through the induction process. Before I begin, these are 2 things that are relevant to the story. I got diagnosed with, I forgot what it was called. So I have a positive RH for my blood type, and he has a negative RH. But to be safe, since I had a positive RH, I had to get something called a RhoGAM shot, because if our blood was to mix when I gave birth, it could be potentially really dangerous for my future pregnancies, because my body would then attack any baby with that blood type.
Yeah.
Besides that, I was also GBS positive, which meant that when I was induced, they were going to have to give me an antibiotic called penicillin, and it was very, very painful. Because of COVID-19 happening, Andres was the only person allowed in the room with me. They did have a policy. Yeah, COVID 2020. We left to get induced at 8 p.m. That was the time of the induction.
We were kind of late.
Yeah, we were like 15 minutes late to the induction. When we got in the room, first thing they instructed me to do was wipe down with these disinfectant wipes. They made me super itchy.
Yeah.
That was a downside.
The countdown.
Lord, sit
I'm here. I'm chilling. We're talking. This is a conversation, right? I'm pretty sure after we did that, we waited for a little until the nurse came in back again.
So what she did was come in and get my contractions monitor on my belly, and then Ezra's heartbeat monitor on my belly. Another nurse came in and tried to do my IV.
The other nurse that came in, she did the IV, but the first one couldn't do it because she couldn't find her freaking vein.
Right, but I was bleeding everywhere and it was really painful.
Yeah.
I was all hooked up and everything. That's, I think, one of the annoying parts of birthing in a hospital is that there's
You have
so
all
many
cables
things
and
connected to you.
whatever.
He had to like
literally.
unplug me so I could go to the bathroom. I also got a blood pressure like sleeve on my arm, and I wasn't allowed to take it off. But I think that was part of the fact that I was given Pitocin. Because I was getting induced, they like inserted a little pill that was a cervix softener. If you don't know about that, your cervix has to get paper thin before you can deliver the baby. But the cervix softener gave me like a lot of contractions. She let that sit there for a couple of
She
hours.
explained that she was gonna do the whatever that thing is to induce Nati after
The cervix softener?
during the night, like a 4 a.m. something like that. It happened.
Yeah, all that happened in that time was she gave me the cervix softener and I started having mild contractions. And they also started me on penicillin, which went into my IV. I was getting fluids and penicillin. The disclaimer that they gave me for the penicillin,
It was gonna burn.
yeah, it burned really bad going in.
She then got the what's it called? It was like around 4 a.m.
Dr. came in at 5 a.m.
That's when Nati started getting like really. It started slowly, but she was getting a lot of freaking pain. Whatever man is watching this with the wife, you're not gonna sleep either being seated. You're gonna be standing up the whole time. Yeah, I was helping Nati the whole time. Literally going to the bathroom, helping her feeling better, which it never
I'll
worked.
insert a clip right here. The contractions were so bad at one point that they were 30 seconds apart.
Yeah.
We're speeding this up for the sake of the video. From the moment I got the cervix softener to when I couldn't bear the pain anymore after the Pitocin, that was 8 hours.
We literally slept like 30 minutes to an hour, like
Yeah.
cut off every time.
And nurses
Every time.
were coming in
and out,
constantly
coming in and
to
out.
change my fluids, my penicillin.
Checking on Nati.
They would come in and check my cervix, which basically just means taking their 2 fingers and shoving it up
Your
my vagina as
coochie.
far as possible. Open them like this to check my cervix. They come in so often that a lot of the times I was just asleep and they would do the cervix check without really saying anything to
There
me.
was when everything happened, which we'll talk about it later. We were like, what?
Well,
but anyways,
I got the Pitocin and the contractions picked up so quickly
yeah,
that I was only able to withstand the pain for 4 hours. And it got so painful that I gave in and I said I wanted the epidural.
which we have a clip on in the previous videos, so you can go watch it.
I was only dealing with nurses the whole time until my doctor actually came in at 5 in the morning. I was in the middle of a contraction. He's like, I see we're in a lot of pain.
Let's check it up.
Let's check your cervix and then let's
she
break
has
your
a
waters in a couple of hours. I got the epidural right after that, like 2 minutes later, and Andres wasn't allowed to be in the room.
I don't know why.
So I had the nurse be the one that was holding me. Because the hard part about the epidural was that you have to stay so still or you could like be paralyzed.
It's an amazing procedure.
Procedure.
It's really not. It's really interesting how they did it. Well, the moment that she got it, she was done. Whenever the doctors were done doing the whole situation, I came in and Nancy was saying, I can feel my legs, like right away. See how
It
fast.
started out on my right side and then it moved to my left, and I couldn't feel my entire lower body.
You were getting like some of that or it was just one time that you got it?
The misconception is that an epidural is just a shot in your back and it numbs you. It's not.
No.
It's an IV that goes in your back.
A strong ass pain relief.
Exactly. I had a button that I could press if I started feeling, but I never had to press it because it was so strong. He was like, if you feel that it's numbing on one side but not numbing on the other, just let us know so we could give it a little wiggle. It just means like it's like
So
too
it
much
can go
to one
everywhere,
side. Yeah. Once I got the epidural, I couldn't feel anything, and that means I couldn't get up and go to the bathroom or anything. They put a catheter.
Yeah.
I was peeing and I didn't realize. At one point, I asked Andres to check, and the bag was full of pee, and I like couldn't feel anything.
He was not allowed to eat anything, obviously, only water.
Which the reason for that isn't because it gets in the way of you delivering. They do that is in case you have an emergency C-section, they can't operate on you if you are full of food. Since I had such a big baby, I ran the risk of not being able to deliver naturally, which made laboring a lot more exhausting.
She was starving. After that,
we slept.
Oh no, actually we slept for like 4 hours,
all
5 hours.
day.
Right? We were done. Everyone left. Nathan was like, none the fuck out. And I was like, all right. Like told Nathan, let's go to sleep. And we slept all the way to 12.
We decided to go to sleep, and he was sleep deprived, and he already loves to sleep, so he was able to do it, no joke. The epidural had me so numbed and so drowsy that I could barely open my eyes. Like I'd open my eyes and just knock out immediately. That's why I went into such detail for those first 8 hours, because the rest of the 10 hours, we genuinely just slept.
10? 6 hours that we're sleeping.
Yeah, I'm not adding correctly. From what I can gather, I know a million nurses came in.
Yeah, they were checking on Nathan.
They checked my cervix multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm sure they gave me updates, but I didn't listen. Two things that I remember vividly is that they came in multiple times to change my penicillin. And I'm so mad that I wasn't awake for this. They came in, and since I was numb, I didn't feel it, and they came and broke my waters.
Ooh, I was dead asleep.
Yeah, we both weren't there for it.
Yeah.
Which can be very dangerous because there's no one advocating for you if you're knocked out. So, like, I would not recommend having no one there to, like...
Yeah, if you're dead asleep, try to wake up whenever they're there. Okay, the moment that we woke up, it was 12. The 2 hours that we were, like, waiting for something happening, it was, like, the shortest 2 hours. It was 10 minutes, technically. From 12 to 2, 10 minutes.
We woke up, and the reason we woke up like abruptly was because this check,
they came in,
flabbergasted us.
Yeah.
We had been sleeping, but we didn't realize how long we had been sleeping for.
When she came in, she checked on Natty, and she was like, "All right, you're like
9.5 centimeters dilated."
Right? And we're like, "Wait, what?
She's
Wait,
like,
what?
Yeah, Mama, you're ready to start pushing. We can do some practice pushes."
And we're like, "What the fuck?" That moment. I swear, I was in shock, I guess.
But Andres was my rock in that moment because I was calm the entire process.
Oh, yeah.
I got so nervous, and she was like, "Okay, we're gonna sit you up." I'm pretty sure to help Ezra drop as much as possible before I started pushing. Because it was so overwhelming, I just started sobbing. I couldn't believe it. Like, it didn't feel real.
We called the parents, we're like, "Yeah, we're nine, whatever."
9.5.
Okay. We're like, okay, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I waited 30 minutes sitting down, and then she came in and gave me barf bags because I started going into active labor, but my contractions got really close together, and so I started throwing up the like liquid that's in your stomach.
I see. You okay?
I started dry heaving, and she came in and told me that was perfectly normal. After I threw up a couple times, I was fine, and that's when they leaned me back and told me, let's do some gentle practice pushes just so we can see where you're at, where you need to focus, your
breathing and all that.
Your breathing and everything.
Pushing.
I was practicing for about
15 minutes, pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was like a set. It was a set. She did 3 breathing and pushes. Stopped for some time, did it again.
Yeah, she would leave the room and then come back and be like, okay, let's do another one.
She did the practice, the last one. It was literally done. She was like, I can't already see the head. And I was like, wait, what? And we were like, what? And she's like, yeah, you want to see? I was like, I saw. And Nati touched it, and I saw Ezra's head.
Andres saw it and like looked at me in shock, and I was like, you can actually see the head, like it's like right there. It was so squishy. she realized how quickly he was coming, and she went and got my doctor immediately.
Like 20 people came in.
So it was my doctor, his nurse, another nurse, another nurse, another nurse, the anesthesiologist because of my epidural.
So many people.
And a med student.
There was
and then
no
another
space. There was no space for me. So I was literally right next to Natty. I couldn't see anything from it.
But he kept like scooting over because they kept pushing him out of the way. So I'm like, what are you doing? Like, come here and stand next to me. And so I had to pull him in.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, right. I belong here. Like, this is my baby. I pushed for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. It was such a short time. A lot of liquid came out. So much liquid came out.
Really?
Yeah. Even the nurses were like surprised of how fast she did.
I have a friend, and her one tip was she was like, push with your diaphragm, not your whole body. And that's what got him out super quickly.
Super quick, yeah.
But yeah, once he came out, I remember
He came out.
gush of amniotic fluid. I could hear it.
He came out and it was just in a second. Everyone was cleaning him, grabbing extra, like cleaning and stuff, like here and
They
there. The blood, the stuff. Astra came out. They had him. They grabbed him and started cleaning him.
He came out and they undid everything so that he could be skin to skin with me immediately.
Oh, he was like 21 centimeters, 9.5 pounds. His face, I have the picture.
He was on my chest. Andres was taking pictures. My doctor was sewing me, or stitching me up because I tore in 4 different spots. I tore like vaginally on the inside. I didn't have any exterior tears. And I delivered the placenta while Ezra was on me. The cord was already cut and everything.
I will skip this part, but I cut it and it was the weirdest feeling ever.
Was
But it was so
squishy?
good. Yes. It was so weird. I didn't want to do it because, I don't know, it felt weird. They were like, you want to cut it? I had it in my head. I felt like it was like 30 minutes. I was like, should I do it? But it was so quick that I was like, fuck it, yes. And I did it.
He was the first one to carry him. But once he got cleaned up and swaddled and put his hat on, Andres was
Carry him.
Was
And
holding
He
him.
was like, with me.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah? See? No. I know, right? Verdad. Verdad. Yo le digo.
Que tiene hambre. He immediately soothed and calmed down when he heard Andres' voice. To sum up the post-delivery, they go through a really long list of things that they have to check with the baby.
Yeah, before you leave.
Blood tests, newborn tests, eyesight stuff. He got tested for a lot of stuff, and he had, what was it called?
Okay, so this thing that turns his skin yellow and his eyes yellow, if it's not well treated, jaundice.
He got jaundice.
Astra had to be naked while he was
Doing
doing
these treatments.
the treatment, and he had to have these glasses on, which he never liked, so it was really annoying. Besides all that, it was such an amazing experience. I feel like I would never change it for anything. I fell in love with my son when he was born. Maybe when we have our second baby, not yet, but we probably will in a few years.
We love sharing these parts of our journey with everyone. I love answering everyone's questions, even if it's asking me if I pooped during my delivery, which I have no idea if I did.
No. Hopefully, y'all liked it, and it's the story time you were waiting for, honestly.
So you guys feel like you were there with us and like you experienced everything with us. So if you guys want a story time on my postpartum journey or what it was like for us,
we can do like a
after-
5-minute video or something like that.
Yeah, we can just give you the full-blown
a
deets.
few details of what happened afterwards.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
If you please are seeing this video, just give us a subscribe and a like on this video. We would love to see that. A comment too. We love seeing your comments, seeing how much you like the video, everything. We love reading the comments.
Those like buttons are there for a reason. It lets us know what you enjoy watching, and we will produce more of that content. I put Instagram polls on my Instagram as well as Andres' Instagram. I'm asking you guys what you would like to see. If you would like, you can go ahead and follow either of our Instagrams down in the description box below, and vote on our Instagram polls and let us know what you would like to see next. We are going to be posting a fully furnished apartment tour so you guys can dive into the rest of our
We will
lives.
clean the apartment for y'all.